let's just go back a second and like, what can we do to think differently, to not continue to go down the spiral? Because we know the more things you focus on that are negative, the more negative stuff tends to happen. Like that's just sort of the rule of the game, right? So I have to pause this and then I have to figure out what thoughts are slightly better than this trash that I've been thinking or worrying about. What is the slightly better thing I can do to get out of it? And sometimes it is anger, and sometimes they're not good emotions, but they're better than whatever pile of dog crap emotions that you're in when you're in that terrible state. And when you're in that state, there's no way you can make anything. So those negative spirals, they still happen, but you have to have a tool. And that's what I'm getting at. We're getting to the tool that you can use to get out of being flaky, but it's also the tool that you can use to get out of being in these darker states. Look, man, I used to flake out all the time on people, and actually just had a completely new insight about how to maybe not flake out so much. So I have like 2 major ways to not be flaky. So hang in there. And in the meantime, if you don't know, I'm Jakey Wakey, artist, author, I don't know, YouTube vlogish person. We're gonna dive into being flaky. This shirt kind of actually is appropriate. I think it's about actually getting stuff done, like actually doing the things that you want to do. And that's really what all of this podcast is about. So if you haven't, go back and watch some of the first episodes. And if any of these could help you or a friend, let them know about the Being a Creator podcast. Yeah, I think I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I'm just feeling different on this one. There's something different about me that I've noticed, because like when you start making content and you start seeing yourself over and over on video, you start to realize you're different. Like sometimes you don't even recognize yourself. Like, who is that person on camera, and how did they say those really insightful things, or how did they say those stupid things and still put it out? You know what I mean? You get this feedback loop happening that is disconcerting at first, but then it's also very rewarding, and it's, borderline narcissist, I guess, because you're constantly watching yourself. But at the same time, you're really learning about the way that you speak, the things that you say, the way that you stand, what it's like when you're more confident, what it's like when you're less confident, and the differences. Like in the last video, there's just these sections where I'm very self-deprecating. I feel like I don't deserve to have this studio. I don't deserve to be able to record this podcast on some level. I feel like I don't deserve this, right? I don't deserve to be able to make content. But everybody has their phone and they can make content almost as good as this. You don't need much more than a phone to make good content. You can make better content with an iPhone. What do you mean you don't deserve it? Like everybody has it anyway. It doesn't matter. Like there's so many hangups that we have as content creators. It's that thing of, like, I had another major breakthrough for myself personally. We have these hangups about showcasing our art, because our art is where we are vulnerable. We want people to see our art. We want people to see our videos. We want them to see our music. We want them to see literally our drawings, our paintings. We want them to see it, but at the same time, we're so afraid of what they're going to think. But what I'm discovering here after putting out a bunch of stuff is like, people can just love the same video that another person hated. It's common sense that this would happen. It's common sense that people would love a song and somebody else would hate the song. You have to be able to be okay. We have to be able to be okay with just letting it be. Like, just make sure you make the thing that you wanted to make, and like you finished it good enough in a way that is acceptable to you. And then it's okay. You don't have to worry about the thumbs downs. When I first started posting, I was like, oh my gosh, I got 4 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down. Like, what is this? And I kept thinking too, like I kept thinking, and I still kind of think, like, why do you keep watching my content and then thumbs downing it? Like, I feel like there's like the same person thumbs downing everything, but you keep watching it. You know what I mean? What are you waiting for? Like, I mean, I'm getting better for sure. And if that's really what it is, like, you just believe that I'm so good, eventually I'll be amazing, like somewhere in there. But like, why would you thumbs down everything? Like, how does that help anything? Like, it doesn't help anything. But that's all beside the point. So yeah, just like growing up, I started to talk about this in the vlog where I mentioned it briefly, that I didn't show up to one of my best friend's weddings. And it was the same thing. I didn't feel like if I went to a wedding that I was good enough or deserved to be there. I don't deserve to be at a wedding. Like, I don't dress nice enough to be at a wedding. Something like that. Then I'll have to behave properly. It's like, of course you have to behave properly. Oh my gosh, my head was just in such a dark place at that time. And not really that long ago, my head was just in this dark, terrible place and constantly looping and spiraling. When you can just zoom out and you see the spiral, like, okay, that's the spiral. If you zoom out just a little bit, you can kind of just push pause on it. You can just be like, let's pause the spiral. Let's just go back a second and like, what can we do to think differently, to not continue to go down the spiral? Because we know the more things you focus on that are negative, the more negative stuff tends to happen. Like that's just sort of the rule of the game, right? So I have to pause this and then I have to step away and then I have to figure out what thoughts are slightly better than this trash that I've been thinking or worrying about. Like, what is the slightly better thought? What is the slightly better thing I can do to get out of it? And sometimes it is anger and sometimes it's, it's whatever. Like sometimes they're not good emotions, but they're better than whatever pile of dog crap emotions that you're in when you're in that terrible state. And when you're in that state, there's no way you can make anything, nothing that anybody would want to see. When you're blaming the world, you're blaming everything. Everything is always out of control. There's no way you can make something that's going to help anyone, much less yourself, when you're in that state. So I feel like I still teeter-totter, right? Like I still go into some of that dark state, dark thoughts, those negative spirals, like they still happen. But you have to have a tool. And that's what I'm getting at. We're getting to it. We're getting to the tool that you can use to get out of being flaky. But it's also the tool that you can use to get out of being in these like darker states, these darker realities, if you will. And it's the same thing. It's the preparing. It's like simply preparing. And you don't have to write anything down. I mean, you could, you should. Like there's a worksheet in the book. So if you have the book, something is not wrong with you. It's on Amazon or even the free chapters, the worksheet's in there. But you have the book and you have the worksheet. You're just preparing how you would respond in certain situations. And one of the situations that I think you should add to this is how would your character, your avatar, your personal avatar respond to being asked to do something, to being asked to go to an event, to being asked, like, what are some ways that you can respond when you want to go? And what are some ways that you can respond when you don't want to go? And one that you can respond when you want to go is, of course, of course I'll be there. What day is it? What time is it? Put it on your calendar, da, 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 da. But if you're kind of busy or like something could come up, maybe you can be honest about it. You can just be, hey, I'm kind of busy right now, or hey, I've got a lot going on. I'd really like to make it, but I just want you to know in advance, I may or may not be able to show up to the thing, And I think that really helps with the maneuvering of things. And the same with the time situation. Like I've got a lot going on. I haven't been able to sleep at night, so I might be late, or I've been going to bed early, and so I might have to leave early. There's all these things that you can say so that it doesn't make you seem like a flake when you have to bounce early or you get there late. There's things that you can say. And then no, this is a tough one for me. I'm still working on the no. The no is trickier. The no is trickier, especially if you care about the person that's asking you to do something. How do you say the no? Because they're going to take it personally. Maybe saying the no with the preface of, please don't take this personally, but I don't think that this is going to work. I'm not going to be able to do this thing. I'm not going to be able to go to this thing. And I hope you understand why. It's because I have this, this, and this, or this, and this. Or if the why is like you really don't like that person, I don't know what that can be. Honestly, I'm still working on this stuff. So if you have any ideas for like how you say no to people that you don't necessarily want to spend time with, maybe let me know in the comments. This would be a good opportunity to get some feedback. You can let me know how you say no to people. All right. So pre-pave your different responses. Pre-paving your responses to an invitation or to making plans with somebody. Hey, let's go to this thing, but if I'm late, I'm probably working on something, or this came up, or whatever it is, or I'll text you even. That would be the responsible thing to do. Hey, I just wanted to text you and let you know we're going to be late, or, or the vice versa. Whatever it is, send them a message, let them know. It's always really good. I tend to over communicate sometimes. Like it depends on the mood, and I get it. It depends on the state. But I think over communication with text, it's not so bad. Like nobody's going to be like, oh man, he just keeps texting me. It's just going to be one or two texts. Oh, the other way to not be a flaky person. This is where the aspect of discipline comes in. Like this is new for me. I am not a traditionally disciplined person, although I've begun doing things that required discipline. They still are not on a schedule like you would expect them to be. It's not like at 8 a.m. I do this and 9 p.m. I do this and what do you like? There's none of that going on. But I do have forcing functions. And I discovered this from Laurel Porty in her $7 advertising Facebook campaign course, which I learned how to lose a lot of money doing Facebook ads, but I'm sure it's actually good information. I just wasn't implementing it correct. But beside the point, I did learn something probably more important. And the more important thing is give yourself a forcing function. And I talked about this in the DoorDash video. Her forcing function was being in a car and waiting for her next DoorDash to come through. So she's stuck in her car. She doesn't want to go on social media. So she's going to record a video. And whether or not you think that she's a good creator or not, that's beside the point. Obviously, she's using tactics that are not necessarily the best because in the long run, nobody's going to want to keep watching the same video, essentially. But she did develop her personality. She developed her presentation. She made a catalog of videos. And then she just doubled down on the ones that blew up. And like, can you blame her? You know? So that's one way of choosing a forcing function. Another forcing function would be to like, if you really were good at making schedules, you know, you can have something on your calendar and be like, I need to do this by this and this by this. Then, you know, that's a forcing function. Another forcing function is I need to edit a video, right? So instead of meandering around and like coming up with excuses or spiraling in my head about why I'm not going to finish the video, I went ahead and went live. So there's actually some live streams of me editing a video, a vlog. And so I'm creating content via the live stream, and I'm also finishing more content for the future. So it's a 2-in-1 kind of thing. And it's also a forcing function because I'm live. I have to work. I can't not work because I don't know if you've ever gone live on YouTube before, but it's a very high pressure, high intense situation. And if you're not doing the thing that you said you were supposed to be doing, people are going to be confused. So another forcing function, mine is a little bit looser, right? So I have this podcast. It needs to go out. For me, it's Tuesday night, but for you guys, it's Tuesday morning. So as long as I have the podcast out on Tuesday-ish in the US, then I'm okay, right? That's my forcing function for the podcast. But I need to come up with an idea so that I can sit here and talk to you for 15, 20 minutes at a time to have an idea for the podcast. In order to do that, I either begin writing my newsletter and or go out and walk and talk. For this podcast in particular, it's been a walk and talk or a bicycle and talk. So I go out, I walk, I talk, I record that. So you get to see me record, you get to see where I'm at, get to see part of rural Thailand. And it's doing so many things for me. It's helping me to improve my confidence, improve my on-camera skills, improve my vlogging and public skills, my social anxiety. It's fixing a lot of things for me that are improving all of my other content. So while those videos are very off the cuff and inspired by whatever I'm feeling in the moment, I am trying to go into them with a little more intention and having more of a topic in mind. But at the same time, it really is where the ideas come from for this. And then I'm able to, while editing those videos, start to refocus what those ideas are and distill them into something that is more practical or more actionable, and then deliver the more concise version and expanded on version, concise and expanded on. That's sort of a contradictory, but hey, that's who you're dealing with, I guess. I can hold two sides of the coin, but they're more potent. They're more potent than the walk and talks. The walk and talks have a lot of breathing room, gaps, actual things happening in the environment. The ideas just sort of coming off the top. So some ideas are bad that I don't include in the podcast. I say bad, but like some ideas are not good enough to include in the podcast. So when you start to create new habits by using these forcing functions or scheduling or whatever your version of discipline is, because you've done those things, you become more confident. And then also you get better at doing things that are actually outside of your comfort zone because you've grown as a person. Let's bring it back to being flaky. So I have to work out at least 3 times a week, seriously. And then also every day I'm doing something. You do that and you do it over and over and over. And then you see the benefit. Like you literally see your body change. You literally have more energy. That's showing up for yourself. That helps you to show up for other people. So if you need to show up for an event or to a party or to just dinner with somebody, you're more likely to do it if you said you did it because you can trust yourself more. I skipped this bit of it at the beginning because this is in the New Year's resolution video. I said, if you make a resolution, you make a promise to yourself and you don't fulfill it, over time, you lose confidence. You lose confidence in yourself because you don't even believe yourself. You told yourself you're going to do something, you didn't do it. So the more you can stack the doing things that you said you're going to do, the more inner confidence you're going to build. And the more inner confidence you build, the more you're likely to show up when you say you're going to go do something, because that's what you've been doing. Like, it literally is just this. It's that simple. And with that, make sure you check out the other episodes of the podcast. And if you're on YouTube, there's a video up here. Also, if you're digging the music in the background, that's your boy.